Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Did you know that people can support us on Patreon?
How do they do that?
They go to a website. It's called Patreon. Our specific slug on that is patreon.com/retroam. Please enjoy our podcast and support us if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. And now, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I recorded?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about Xenogears. Intense nostalgia and a burning desire to extrapolate thematic elements of video games have led us here to my basement to talk about Xenogears again. My name is Chris, and tonight I am joined by my friend Eric. Hey, Eric.
What would you rather have? Burning Desire, Burning Souls, or Burning Rangers?
Ooh, good question. Probably Burning Desire, because Burning Desire can lead you to more places than one.
Oh yeah? Burning Rangers can be traded for $500. How many places is that going to lead you?
Well, I mean, that's true. $500, I mean, you can get somewhere there with that a little bit, kind of. You could upgrade your PC.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here. We're going to talk about the chapter Burning Souls tonight. Do you have any comments about the title Burning Souls?
Yes, I've got the literal translation from the Xenogears study guide. As is our new custom now, one title is the real title, and the other two I've made up to try to trick Chris.
Trick me.
Chris, is Burning Souls actually called Souls of Fire, Shattered Faith, or Faith? Again, Souls of Fire, Shattered Faith, or Faith?
I like Shattered Faith because we know that this game is sort of scrubbed for a lot of the religious stuff as best as possible, even though you can't really do that in this game. So I'm going with that.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Faith.
Faith. Okay. That's a good title for this chapter.
Yeah.
Because
that makes it more ambiguous, actually.
Yeah.
Because Shattered Faith implies that, this motherfucker's world's getting ready to get rocked, but Faith just means faith? Could go either way.
At least it's not losing my religion.
I wonder how Burning Souls got to the, I know a lot of this stuff was tight deadline. It's not your second or third refined idea. It is your first idea in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Which if you've ever looked at a first draft of something you've written and then what the eventual final product is, the first draft is usually hot bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. Well, before we get on with Burning Souls, I had an opportunity to wander around the Yggdraslin. Do you know what I did?
You know what? Ever since the last episode, I have been making a note to go do this, and then I never do.
You are missing a lot of good choo-choo stuff.
I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with Rex.
So first, you can go to Margie's room. There's lots of shit happening in Margie's room now.
Yeah.
Primera's there.
Great.
And if
small room, by the way.
Yeah, it is. There's two beds and one stuffed animal penguin.
There's no toilet on the entire ship.
You've got to either go to the orphanage or to Kiss Love to take a shit.
Engine. Yeah, go to Kiss Love to take a shit. Just hang your ass off the side and shit out the...
Shit in the gear dock in the corner. That place is too big anyway. Primera is there, and if you speak with her, she's holding the prememo. Do you know what the prememo is?
Was that a word? What do you...
Yes,
okay.
Like a memo. It's Primera's memo. It's the prememo.
Did you make that up?
No, it's really in the game.
Initializing fake net.
Pre-memo.
What's it say, Chris?
It teaches you how to use Billy's guns, if you forgot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The prememo.
Yeah.
Prememo is really good. That's like that. If that would have been my aim name.
Yeah.
Prememo.
Choo-choo says... Choo-choo says, the boat suddenly started to roll, and now I don't feel too good.
I'm going to kill myself.
It's kind of how I feel right now.
I can't deal with choo-choo. I can't do it, man.
Also, I went to the gear dock to get the lowdown on the...
Renmizuo.
How do you say that?
Initializing fake net.
Renmizuo.
Renmizuo?
Renmizuo?
I don't have it in front of me. That's just what I remember. That could be totally wrong. Yeah.
Yep, that looks right. Renmizuo. That's what we'll go with. You talk to the guy, and he says... It is still under investigation, so I don't have the details. Which means I'm going to have to walk back here and fucking do this later.
Do you have the etymology of Renmizuo?
I couldn't find anything specific about it.
Okay.
There was really nothing on the Xenogears wiki, so we'll loop back on that one once we find something. It seems like it feels like a Italian word almost.
Yeah, that ends in a vowel and has a Z in the middle of it.
Maybe I'm just...
Racist?
Maybe I'm racist, sorry. I also launched the Yggdrasil and stopped back off at the orphanage.
Yes, what'd you do there?
Because I need to get the tag badge for the culture.
Oh, okay,
yes. Because of my switched to emulation and using a pretty good save. I now have
Pretty good save. Ether Doubler is a pretty good save.
Yeah, I now have
Elite save.
Elite save, yes, thank you. I now have all 3 badges, so we can see how that side quest unfolds.
Honestly,
later.
I think the rock, paper, scissors badge is one of the hardest things to do in the game.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know because I'm an idiot. Also, if you had the 3 books that you collected from the orphanage, you can unlock the door. Before we unlock the door, though, did you read the description of the books?
No, I didn't do that. What are they?
Well, the one that the kid wiped his ass with just says, like, no longer a good comic or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder why. There's shit smeared on all the text boxes. I can't read this.
The one about the Ethos just says something kind of random. But one of them says, The Adventures of Big Joe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that means a book has been written about Big Joe and has made its way to the orphanage.
Local legend, man. Already got his own book everywhere.
Yeah, so if you have all 3 of these books, you can unlock the...
It's the secret area where Billy went earlier, where we found him,
and
right?
when you unlock him, Billy
bookcase.
acts like he's never been there before.
Yeah, it's a weird bit of localization.
And then you can get the B&J M686 gun, and Billy says this was his father's gun. I guess the one he used to look at all the time.
Yes, it is rank AA, which is apparently how Billy's guns are measured.
Yeah, sure. That's how I measure my guns too.
Yeah, my AA guns.
That's all the random stuff I did before we went back to the Ethos HQ, because that is our mission here, is to return Billy to the Ethos HQ and report our mission details.
Right. Billy has to go turn in his kill list to get... Do you think Billy's paid, like, salary, or do you think, per well scalp he brings back, there's an extra 10G in it for him?
I think Billy has a stipend and he just does what he needs to do.
Okay, cool. Well, we enter Ethos HQ, and do you have what music plays?
Fuse.
Yeah. Fuse indicates some motherfuckers got.
Yes. Fuse is always like when shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
And if last time we entered here, we were listening to the creepy church music, and so this is no longer a creepy church situation. It is a assassination situation.
Yes.
Because there are dead people everywhere.
Yes.
Survivors have heard gunshots.
Yeah, when you come in, there's the classic guy moving horizontally on the floor with little bits of important information regarding the perps.
Yep. And we know Billy finds that it is his father's shell casing on the ground. Jesse has his own brand of shell casing?
I mean,
or does he have a preferred brand?
Billy has made his own guns. I assume Josiah makes his own guns too.
Okay.
And it has a certain... Like, you can identify shell casing to a gun based on how it comes out of the barrel and imprints it makes on it, which is how they identify, forensics can identify what bullet came out of what gun, assuming the shell casing in the barrel hasn't been damaged.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was wondering if it was more like a situation where, like, Billy walks in and he's like, somebody left a pack of Camel Lights here. My dad smokes Camel Lights. My dad did this. Or this is more of like a forensic situation.
Forensic, or Jesse has such a big ego that his name is written on all the shell casings.
Yeah.
Like, that could be something really stupid. Do you have the dialogue Billy tells the guy that's dying?
No.
Hang in there.
That's a callback to the nun on the shitter.
Yeah, on the shitter in Nordtune, A-Block, who just told us to hang in there. You said, who did Jesse, or what did Billy say about the shell casing? Who did it belong to?
Jesse.
He said this is father's shell casing. He called him father.
Oh.
Do you think that was a localization bluff, or do you think truly Billy thinks of Josiah as his father and was just trying to be hard?
Or was he talking about like a father of the church?
Oh.
Did he specifically say?
He said this is father's, I have the direct quote, this is father's shell casing.
He's probably referring to Jesse.
Yeah.
Because he already mistrusts him anyway.
Right. And as soon as I realized that Jesse came in and shot up the place, I wondered if Jesse was experiencing economic uncertainty.
No, Eric. Jesse's a terrorist.
Okay.
Shit. God damn you. Fuck off.
The random battles here are called assassins, and they're dudes with Edward Scissorhand hands.
Well, first we have some, like, the assassins actually come out from the rafters and attack us. We see the sprites.
It's not a random battle. It's actually a scripted. There's like 5 or 6 scripted battles here.
Yeah, and the assassins look like Voldo, sort of.
Good pull. I think, Soul Blade was out at this point, and I think Soul Calibur and Arcade was out at this point, too.
There is a very specific type of ninja that is drawn in all kinds of different anime and things of that nature. I think there's even one of these dudes that looks like this thing in one of the King of Fighters games, I think. But it's like a undersized ninja with a giant claw and a slightly hunched back. Like that appears in everything.
Yeah. Voldo has more of an S&M bend to him, too.
Yeah, that's true. Also, in that battle, there's like these priest magic caster dudes in the background.
Yeah, they have their arms stretched out the entire time and are kind of doing like Looney Tunes idle motions a little bit.
And they cast a move called Seal, which pulls out, like, it's not a cross, but it's like the same kind of symbol that
it's like a Celtic, almost like the cross that has the bow at the top.
And this is our first indication, like, just seeing these those priest bad guys, that this is like an inside job.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know if these priest bad guys are the same priests that are bopping around. Like, they're not dressed the same, are they?
They're not the same, but they have that priestly look.
Yeah.
So it just gives you an indication that this, because, I mean, we're not fighting like Solarian grunts or something
right,
like
yeah.
that.
You mentioned seal. It's important to note that seal doesn't seal anything off. It's just like a burning attack. It just hurts you.
Yeah, and there's also one that puts you or stops you in your tracks or something of that nature. Also, those little Voldo assassin guys will say, he, kill you next turn.
Yeah. Did you ever not kill them immediately? Like, did they ever actually do that? Because I always, immediately after they said that, I killed them with a combo.
I did let them hit me and it didn't kill me. It wasn't like an insta-kill or anything like that.
Okay, so they're just lying.
I guess.
Okay. That or we're just too strong.
I think it just unleashes a stronger attack.
Okay, I think I'm level like 41, 42, 43 around here.
I think I'm about that too. I might be a little lower.
I don't really have any trouble. So the monks cast seal. Do you have anything else on the first floor before you?
I have Bart and Ellie with me.
Okay, I have Ellie and Rico.
Bart and Ellie both say that we need to go look for survivors.
Mm.
Despite that, Bart says these guys are pros and they've probably already killed everybody. So Bart has no hope for...
I mean, Bart's seen some shit. He knows how the world works. He's like,
true.
Look, if they're all dead on the top floor, nobody else got out of this thing.
Also, I ran into a couple of wells along the way.
Oh, yeah?
So there's another indication that wells are being used as... They're weaponized. They're not just some random zombie.
I think on the first floor I found a pontiff, and he says it's been exposed before he gets murked.
That's actually a little later, I think.
Oh, it is? Okay, that's my next note.
Well, I found the cook. They didn't kill the cook.
Okay, good, great.
The cook's okay.
Yeah, you pretty much have free reign over... Remember how, like, when we got to go check up on Faye at the doctor's office, it kind of let us explore this place, so we were supposed to have a blueprint in our heads of where all the shit was. Yeah,
so I haven't gone into the spaceship basement yet, but I just have a couple of random notes about things that I observed here. At some point, Bart learned an ether move called Blue Cologne, which I love the title of that.
Yeah,
it is a accuracy and evasion upskill. It's like the opposite of Wild Smile.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, that makes thematic sense, and that Bart definitely wears too much cologne.
Also, I have something troubling. Okay, so Billy has a death blow called Hellblast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before he does Hellblast, it appears that he's rubbing his crotch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that too? Did you see that too?
Did not notice that.
Okay.
I'm going to look at it soon.
Okay. That's all I had there. It was just a little weird. I
mean, if I was being stylish and opening up guns on motherfuckers, and I'm like, if I know I'm going to kill this guy, and I've killed a lot of people in my life, right? Am I going to rub my dick before I murder someone just to fuck with them? Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to be that guy.
If you're a battle priest, you will. Occasionally, when you're running through the upper church area, those assassins will drop from the ceiling and initiate a battle.
By upper church, you mean that area that goes, like, there's scaffolding on top that you can cross over to?
Yeah, or all the rooms and stuff like that you had to go, that you could explore. But there's nothing really of note other than that. But that is when you go to the spaceship basement and you see the pontiff. And is the pontiff the pope?
I don't know. He has a pope hat. I mean, you would think pontiff, like, the actual head of the church would have been somebody with a name. Like, I would put Verlaine higher than this guy, right?
Okay.
I'm not actually sure, but he was identified as pontiff somewhere, right?
Yeah, pontiff in his dialogue box.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does talk about it. Has it been exposed? And then he gets killed. And then we go down a deep, deep elevator. It goes down for a while.
Did you get, before that, the loot that was here?
Mm-mm.
In one of the rooms, there's a gold nugget, CLAR, and an Aquasol DX.
Oh, I missed that.
Did you get to the holding cell with the prisoners?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Chris. So there's two prisoners. There's a holding cell. It's right before you go down to the deep elevator. It's off to the left side. There is a person in a holding cell. You open it up and they say, I don't know anything. I can't talk any more than this. And Ellie says, hang in there now. And then the prisoner, who looks really weird and is dressed differently than everyone else, says in broken, like there's periods. So it's like, there's like a word that's separated by periods. So they're like trying to croak this out because they can't talk. And they say, Shivat, got to contact Shivat.
Oh.
Billy calls the Yggdrasil people to come and collect this fool. So you open that cell and there's one more cell behind you. Oh, first off, why does the Ethos have Shivat prisoners?
Well,
yeah.
Can we speculate on that a little bit later?
We'll do that later.
Okay.
So there's one more cell. Chris, guess who's in the other cell?
Is it Big Joe?
It is.
Oh, man, I missed Big Joe.
You missed the fucking Big Joe.
Shit.
He's still in the cell. You get that fucker out of jail right now, man. God.
Did he get out? If I didn't get him out, did he get out?
Big Joe's I don't know. That's a good question. Like, if he just dies there in your game?
I miss Big
Monster.
Joe.
Well, Chris, let me save you.
I should be kicked off this podcast.
You should. You missed a Big Joe appearance. You're amateur. This is amateur hour, man. But I'll give his dialogue to you. When you see him, he says, oh, My best buddy. You came all the way to save me, eh? Well done, well done. Someday you'll brag about saving me. Adios, amigos. And he just leaves.
That's great. That's great Big Joe
really
content.
Good. Great,
excellent Big Joe content.
Man, I'm sad you didn't get to experience that.
Yeah.
Because it was such a surprise when I was like, whoa, Shavat person. And then just Big Joe hanging out. How'd he get here? Did he get kidnapped? Did he voluntarily just turn himself in as some Luke Skywalker shit where he was going to take him over?
Wow.
A lot of stuff.
That's some shit.
Yeah, so let me get to the secret elevator.
Yes. We find a computer room down there.
Yes. Billy wonders if it's the Ethos databank. Citan is absolutely convinced it is because somehow he knows that exists for some reason.
Also, you said Citan.
Yeah?
Citan and your non-party members materialize out of nowhere
yes.
here.
Yeah, they show up in classic.
For me it was Rico and Citan. They just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, we forgot to mention your other people. So it's the full gang here. And Billy says that only the Bishop class can access this room, which holds all the Ethos info that has ever been recovered. And Ellie makes a key observation. What does she say?
Well, she's like, hey, this is Solaris stuff. Like they've got Windows 95 and Solaris, and they've got Windows 95 here too. So,
like Bart's system's all running on DOS, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny. I think it's interesting that that's Solaris equipment because when we were down there the first time with Faye, we were like, why is all these Solarian hallways here? Because it looked like the ship that Ellie gotten taken to and the ship that Ramses and Groff and me have been on. So then the gang all starts hacking PCs as Fuse plays.
Yeah.
I'll hack the Gibson.
Dude, they'll trace you like that, man. The cops are gonna find you. They're gonna find you with a smoking gun.
Fucked if I care, man.
Look, even if you had the password, it'd take you 10 minutes to get in.
Bart asked Billy if he has any idea what's going on here, when in fact Billy had 2 seconds ago said he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Billy, someone knew that it was the Ethos databank, right? Like, Billy wondered if it was that because it's funny that Billy wonders that because it's like, dude, where else would it be? This is headquarters, man. This is the only elevator that you've never inquired about, never been into because you're not Bishop class, and there's only one of those as far as we know at this point.
the hacker scene is great.
God, the hacking's so good.
It's so funny.
In Fuse plays too. Like, how good is that that music is playing behind them? As soon as they start doing lead hacks, a bunch of information comes up on the screen.
Yeah, it looks like there's information from the battling committee popping up through here.
Yeah, I've got, how much of it do you have?
Bits and pieces.
I've got a lot of it. It says it's report number 50244 from Nortune's D block, data concerning the A-class battlers' health conditions and estimated adaptation rates for triple-wide demi-human development. And it's
Triple-wide demi-human development?
Yes. I'd imagine various degrees of demi-humans, such as the Nortune Kaiser versus Rico.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Rico's got some more of that juice in him, possibly.
So is Rico possibly like the product of experimentation or something?
Yeah, maybe. Type Y demi-human development. And then it says upgrading Ave's gears from level D2 to level D3. Maintain Kislev gears at D2. Current balance equals 4-to-6 ratio. Reported by Bishop Shaken of the Ignis Diocese.
Yes. Shakan.
Initializing fake net.
I say shocking.
He's a bishop.
Bart says Shakan was excommunicated 17 years ago, which is news to us because I didn't know that he was a part of that before. Did you?
No, I didn't. I don't think there was no indication of that whatsoever to this point.
Yeah.
So anything else before we...
They note that all the Ethos resources are being sent to Solaris, and then Ellie translates some encryption. Do you have any of that, or do you have...
It's a bunch of shit about the lambs, the re-education, post-war rehab plan.
Schedule for building gate foundations.
Yeah. All this seems to be related to like the whatever the Solaris scenario is. All of all of these spreadsheets and these scales have been tipped to the way they want it to be.
The conflict is being controlled and measured with strengths and weaknesses on both sides.
To what ends do we don't know, or
we don't.
Can we guess? Can we guess that the ends of this is whatever the Emperor and the Ministry are after?
I think so. Yeah, you mentioned the Ministry. Ellie's sequence ends with Ethos establishes an organization supervised by the Elders Conference, supervision by the Gazelle, or Gazel.
How about Gazel?
Do we know for a fact who they are, or can we intuit that now?
You mean who the Gazel is?
Yeah,
I think we can intuit that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the Ministry of the floating brain men,
the red and blue faces
that report to Emperor Cain.
Yeah, that is who appears to be the lead string puller in cooperation with Cain. The trusted minds.
Rico has a funny line of dialogue here. After this point, he says the Ethos is really a subsidiary organization of Solaris.
Yeah,
and
he equates them.
That's a very true statement. But when I read that, I was like, Rico doesn't know those words.
Yeah.
That's the wrong character speaking.
Yeah, they kind of had to figure out a way. They should have made him say that with only 2 syllables each.
We also learned there was a war 500 years ago.
Yes, Solaris had a great war with the land dwellers.
Land versus Solaris. And to offset those revolts, gates were made to dwell as separate races.
Yes.
And then they were supervised by the Ethos.
Yeah, the Ethos was supposed to maintain kind of the on-site balance on the land. Ethos was also controlled by the Gazla Ministry, or Solaris' highest government body.
So they're just harvesting refugees.
Yes, they specifically say that goods and people were being transferred from the land to Solaris, presumably for experimentation. This
all backs up all the things that Sigurd and Seitan told us way back when we were in Nissan, planning for the recapture Ave sequences.
They were abducting people to use for experiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your basic alien abduction shit, only it's not conspiratorial weirdos. It's actually happening on this planet.
Yeah, this is all a lot. Like basically everything that we have learned about this game is being piped into, or has all been piped into these computers.
They're doing some race science here too with how they're abducting people.
Yeah.
Taking in people who came to the Ethos for help, and they're like, oh yes, we can help you. Very good. Which I guess Billy, because we got the point that they're taking in refugees and stuff, but I guess no one ever asked what was happening to these people. I guess maybe they told Billy and the people that were also ignorant that, oh yeah, no, we're going to resettle them in the Ignis continent. They're all in Ave. Don't worry about it. Don't ever go there also to look for them.
I think he was also told that a lot of them were taken to be trained to be Etones, like he was.
Ellie actually chimes in a little bit and says they're all part of the labor supply for Solaris, as Billy is in denial. Which Billy's world's kind of shattering around him right now.
Yeah. Everything. My world is shattering around us right now.
Yeah. So then we have the 44th salvage plan. Do you have anything for that?
Yeah, that is the 44th salvage plan is the plan that is currently being executed by the Thames. And
yeah, that's what they're working on.
They are, and the Ethos commissioned this independently of Solaris. That's the key point here.
19 years ago.
Yes. So pretty much up to that point, the Ethos was wholly just executing whatever they were, the orders that they were given by the ministry or from Solaris.
Yeah.
But this they went off and did on their own.
They started acting independently.
They're looking for Zeboim.
Yes.
Which sank 4,000 years ago, which we've heard about this a couple times before in the ministry banter.
They have pulled biological weapons and reactive weapons from test digs, and they think there's more down there.
Seitan believes that this is an attempt to revolt against Solaris.
Yeah, it's like America revolting against Britain and forming an independent nation.
And this is all... And the reason they're trying to get down there is because the resources...
The good shit is.
Yeah, the good shit. It's ultra advanced, as I think Seitan says about it.
It's funny that Seitan doesn't position Ethos as just trying to revolt and break away. He says they're trying to do their own world domination.
Yeah, it's something. Now, something else happened here, and I wonder if it happened to you. Ellie says that a person from Shavat is being held captive here. You've rescued the person from Shavat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some people, they made reference to them coming and collecting them.
Okay, yeah, because at that point, she asked Seitan and Rico to go rescue that person.
Oh, okay, I see. So, yeah, that makes sense. So, I bet that person gets on our ship later, so we can interrogate them or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Billy's faith is shattered here.
Yep, shattered faith. Faith is shattered.
Faith, yeah, there you go. Done. Shattered faith. Just, it's one of those, oh my God, my whole life is a lie. Has anyone's faith been shattered this quickly, this abruptly, this hardcore in this game? Because Faye's faith has been shattered several times.
Yes.
Rico's faith has been shattered. Seitan has faith in nothing, so that hasn't been shattered at all. Ellie's faith in Solaris has been shattered.
Also, it's a good time to point out that during this sequence, I had forgotten about Faye.
Right?
We're so knee deep in all this shit that oh yeah, the main character hasn't been with us for quite some time.
Yeah, he's been out. He's missing these revelations, and he's missing the chance to hack with his friends.
We haven't seen Faye in 4 episodes.
So, everybody's kind of like, whoa, that's fucked up, and they all start to leave.
Yeah, and when you leave the room, Billy's shit's about to be shattered even more because Verlaine is out there just ready to talk some shit. And there's a weird line here. He says, "You're defiled, Billy.
Yeah.
You left the Ethos and kept company with dregs who have no faith at all."
He calls them dregs. Bunch of atheists you're hanging out with, man.
Then he says, "And you lost sight of what it means to be defiled."
Yeah.
Which he says, "You're defiled. You've lost sight of what it means to be defiled." I think maybe the wrong word was...
I can kind of see, I initially thought that was a weird line too, but if Billy is defiled and doesn't know it, maybe Verlaine's saying, you don't even know you're in deep with these shitheads.
Yeah. Which
I don't even see the evidence for that. Billy's been doing what he's told the entire time.
That's true. Yeah.
Other than killing the gremlin goons that killed all the Ethos, which seems justifiable given the circumstances.
Yeah, all Billy is guilty is coming back to the HQ to report his mission.
Yeah.
That's all he's done.
So Verlaine is giving a Bond villain rant, which he says, "Fear not, Billy. I shall cleanse you. You'll live within me. You'll become one with me in death." So is he either going to eat Billy or suicide with Billy?
I don't know. I have not read the Billy Verlaine fanfic, but
it's out there.
Probably would read it, yes.
Who saves the day? Or do you have anything else?
Yeah, Jesse shows up and points out these fuckers are from Solaris.
Yeah.
Jesse's ready to come clean with all the lore he knows.
Yeah, he's ready. That thing that he left Billy on the hook for earlier, he's ready to give it all up because Billy needs it right now. Jesse says that Verlaine and his goons are a death squad under Stone's command, which implicates Bishop Stone in this for the first time, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Verlaine he's an agent of Stone, and he tells us that everyone was bad here. And
Billy doubts Jesse, then Verlaine just confirms it.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, sure. Then we have the part about pedophilia.
The little boys and girls kept here actually used as a means to satisfy the desires of the pontiffs and bishops. So I thought this was maybe reading in a little bit too much to contemporary American society, where the pedophilia Catholic Church stuff was starting to come out in the late 90s a little bit. But I looked at the study guide for this line, and they basically said, no, this is actually a really good translation. Lust was implied in here. This is what you think it means is exactly what this means.
Wow.
Is the priests were kid diddlers.
I mean, why?
I mean, you want to make somebody evil, and you want to make them evil in a new, unique way, right? Why not make them pedophiles?
Evil enough, I think, at this point.
Yeah, but what if they were evil and pedophiles?
Yeah, that's true. They go on with more shit about how the church is used to control people, etc. They tell us all the stuff that our atheist and Marxist friends tell us in high school.
That's the exact same note that I made. Yeah. When they say its doctrines are just deceptions used to control the masses, I was like, this shit was revolutionary when I was 16. It's the kid at the party who's smoking weed and going, all that shit's just made up, man.
Yeah.
When you first realize all this stuff.
He slides you a copy of the Communist Manifesto, and it's like, hey, man.
Yeah, Anarchist Cookbook, all that shit.
Then Verlaine gets shot.
Yeah, Verlaine gets he gets owned pretty bad.
Who shot him? Stone?
Who shot you?
Billy is upset, and then Stone walks in, right?
Yeah, a little bit before that, he says the Ethos use the two sweet fruits of faith and technology to manipulate, which is a little bit how churches and stuff like that kind of lure teens in with dance nights in clothed mixers in, live music and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
He says there's battle data on man and weapons gathered and sent to Solaris, and Verlaine says all wars are bullshit started by Solaris. So, but it's funny that Stone shows up. There's a bullet noise and Verlaine's dead, and you're right, Stone shows up and kills him, which is really funny to me, that Verlaine's just doing the Bond villain thing where he explains the entire reason for his motivations and then gets executed, gets murked. Do you have what Stone calls him?
No.
Good for nothing chatterbox.
Oh, yeah, true.
Which is exactly what was happening.
That's very true. Then Stone reveals that he is the Inquisitor from Solaris.
Yes. What does an Inquisitor mean to you, Chris?
Well, having read history, having a person who's read the one book about history.
Yeah.
An Inquisitor is somebody who executes folks for non-believers.
Yeah.
Purges pagans, basically.
Stone says Verlaine was basically his number two that eliminated corrupt people within the Ethos, which I guess was everybody else, because the whole building HQ's dead.
Yeah, and he kind of goes through the same spiel that Verlaine just did. He basically tells us all the same shit that Verlaine said.
Yeah.
And then tells us about etones and how they were created to root out corruption, etc. And then he says he had another role for Billy.
Yeah.
And Billy really wants to know what that role is.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't get to know.
Stone is delaying by saying a bunch more bullshit. Stone's got so much bullshit to get out, even though we get it now. We understand what's going on here. We've hacked the computers. We've talked to Verlaine. It's okay, Bishop Stone. We don't need any more lore. But he gives it to us.
Yeah.
And he's like, then he goes on again. He's like, Billy, your role was to kill Reapers, but that's just not really what it seemed.
Yeah.
And then Jesse butts in.
Yeah, right as he's about to explain what saving Reapers means, Jesse butts in, but he calls Stone something else.
He calls him Stein.
Stein.
Another good buddy with a different name.
And they make a reference to something Chris alluded to from The Perfect Works, where Jesse has a different face. Stone acknowledges that both he and Jesse look different. And then Stone, classically, rather than fight anyone, just leaves, tells Billy to find him later.
Yeah. He says, when he's called Stein, he says, hearing that name, vividly brings back a pleasant twinge of pain to the scars on this body, which is a cool line. I think.
That's pretty good. It's classic villain shit here.
Yeah.
You just see him like kind of dusting off his hands and walking away for a battle that's going to happen almost instantly.
So yeah, and Stone, he ain't going to tell us.
Nope.
What Billy's true role is, and he's going to give us some mini bosses to fight while he runs away.
Yeah, he takes off in a huge gear, the mobile gear of Solaris, Alkenshell.
Initializing fake net.
Alkenshell. This also is not an English word.
Archangel?
Oh shit.
Archangel, sure. Actually, yeah, maybe, because I Googled Alkenshell and that was nothing. So
it could be a misromanization. There's different speculation on what this is, but I think the closest one is the fact that it's possibly an Archangel.
Archangel makes a lot of sense there.
The gear is huge and it's not very cool looking. It looks like a giant. Like, does it even have legs? Is it one of those?
No.
Yeah.
It's more of a ship to me. Where's it heading?
Jesse says that the thing has hella firepower.
Yes.
And we'll be okay in our gears because I guess it's like Vandercom where it can't fucking hit shit.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Has Vandercom's designed all the high powered gears in Solaris? I don't know. It's headed towards the Thames probably, and you know who's very upset about this?
Who?
Bart.
Yeah.
Because his
new friends.
Yeah, his best buddy is there. So it's on trouble.
So we get from now our friends are left behind. It transitions to a shot of the Thames on the open sea, surrounded by smaller boats. It's like an entire fleet, like a flotilla.
Yeah, we're on the Yggdrasil and we're headed towards the Thames, and it says that it'll take an hour to get there.
Yeah,
and then that's when they notice something else.
Yeah,
on the radar, and that spooky music comes in.
Yeah,
is that in the soundtrack?
It's a unique noise that appears, but it's not part of like the sewer music or the forest music or any of that stuff. It's not a part of the soundtrack, but you will hear it in our podcast.
Then the Thames gets just fucking destroyed by lasers.
Yeah, lasers from the sky come in, just destroy this shit, like wreck everything.
And what is shooting these lasers, Eric?
The Executioner ship, the Cobra ship.
The giant fucking snake pot.
Yes, the thing that we saw interact with the Kaiser in Nordtune that delivered what we assume to be a gate device or something like that, or a key or something.
Yeah, something of that nature. I think it was a gatekeeper.
A gatekeeper, yeah. So the ship that we knew, did we think it had association with Groff? Like that the person was there on behalf of Groff?
Yes, I think that was explicitly said.
Okay, but it was masked woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that happens. Thames is, as far as we know, destroyed.
Getting owned, yes.
And it's been like an hour since the save point in real time at this point, and I'm trying to go to bed, but instead, what do we get?
Oh, yes. Another sequence from the Ministry.
All that was needed was to fulfill the duty. Now, I sense a thought of greed.
A selfish creed. I question his faith.
We have no need for an organization of fanatics.
We will seek what they will. It's their nature.
But too much is undue. Something must be done. A reprimand is necessary.
They are an expendable group. There is nothing we can do at this point.
Yes. There is nothing more to gain from their continued existence.
They've already done what we required. Currently, we're in the process of dealing with each area responsible.
Stein is in charge of dealing with Aquavi.
Bear in mind the need for a fitting solution.
Didn't we just take care of that?
Moreover, Krelian is rather exorbitant. It's only a molecular machine. Why is he placing so much importance on it?
Humans and machines. It's all the same to us.
Yes, they are all the same.
Okay, so that was a shorter one.
Let's just talk about our main takeaways from this thing.
Yes.
And then if you have any specific lines you want to call out, go for it.
Okay.
But the main thing I'm getting from all this is that the ministry is pretty much done with the ethos.
Yes, like this in the Xenogears study guide, it said this entire passage was kind of localized very poorly, but the gist of it was they were happy to kind of let the ethos do their own thing, but they got too far out of control. They don't need him anymore. Fuck them. Like they've done it to themselves. Like they were kind of like secretly in control the entire time because they had more technology than the ethos did. But now they're ready to no longer classify that as being necessary.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you say that there are some comments that this thing was not localized very well, because I had a hard time trying to extrapolate anything from this other than that larger takeaway.
They do make reference to Krelian here and saying that his solution was rather exorbitant. And then as far as what is down there, they could, quote, "It's only a molecular machine. Why is he placing such importance on it?" Which I think molecular machine can be better translated to nanomachine.
Maybe, yeah.
Which was a word I first heard playing Metal Gear Solid, but was, still kind of a thing at this point with the late 90s technology boom.
They also say something about humans and machines all being the same to us.
Yeah, I don't have what that was supposed to mean down, but you're not really supposed to read too much into that.
Okay, because it just seemed like ominous gibberish.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, as far as we know, are machines.
Yeah.
Or could be human. I mean, they're humans in machines, digitized human brains.
One way or the other.
It's definitely a rotating sphere of television screens. So are there like 8 guys all trapped in there, like doing a human cannonball? No, I don't think so. So yeah, the gist of it was the church probably went too far and deserved all this shit. So then, there's still one more scene.
Well, we're going to pan back to the snake pot.
Yes, the snake pot. I looked at I had to go get some dialogue for this, so I looked at the Xenogears, the Xenogears script, and it identified the name of this ship.
Oh yeah?
Ezekiel with an E.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that matters anywhere, but I just wanted us to have something to call it at this point. So yeah, so there's some unique background noises that are different than the Solarian noises, but we meet a new person.
Yes, finally. It is finally time to meet Krelian. Krelian says lambs 03, 05, and 11 are damaged. Just retrieve the non-damaged one.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Does that mean, is it like a sector of lambs?
Yeah, like I think maybe they had tagged some people that they were like trying to see how they interacted with or what they did on the surface. He also says orders the remainder of stuff to be eliminated with the rest of the trash, and then says shock troops are entering Ziboam now.
Yes, he says use the test subjects' wells for retrieval and elimination. So he is deploying the wells.
Yeah, the ship physically releases wells.
Yes.
Krelian then says they found the thing they've searched for 500 years.
And that's Ziboam, right?
Yes, Ziboam, which is right below Akavi.
We appear to be on a collision course with Ziboam in this game.
Yes. So Krelian, we saw the Ministry mention him before. Twice,
yeah.
Yes. And we finally meet him. Is this a relevant time to explain where his name came from and what that person was?
I think so, without spoiling the particular book, yes.
Or he's from Childhood's End,
yes.
But have you read Childhood's End yet?
No, I haven't finished it. I haven't picked it back up.
All right. So how about you leave the room?
Okay.
I'm going to tell our listeners what Krelian actually is.
If you would like to avoid significant first act spoilers for Childhood's End, a book written in 1953, please fast forward to 39 minutes, 50 seconds.
All right, Chris left. So the way Childhood's End goes, it's a book about aliens invading, by Arthur C. Clarke. Aliens invade the Earth in the 50s or 60s, right as the Cold War is ramping up. And they basically say, hey, you're about to destroy yourselves. We're going to take over. No more violence, no more of this shit. They have omnipotent control. There is an overseer of all these alien ships named Krelian, and nobody is allowed to see him at all. He's not going to reveal himself. He's just a voice, whatever. His name is Krelian. So one guy gets to see him and then dies with the secret, but Krelian announces that in 50 years, once this whole generation has been killed, he'll reveal himself. So the book actually cuts that at the first act, jumps forward 50 years, with Krelian walking out of the ship, and he's revealed to be like an 8-foot-tall, muscular humanoid with a hooked tail, wings, and horns. He's the fucking devil. He is the Paradise Lost image of Satan. So the implications of that toward their intentions and how they are perceived in mythology suddenly cast doubt on their treatment of the human race and what they actually intend, and if their purposes aren't necessarily so good-natured and for the quote-unquote best of humanity. So how that relates to this Krelian, we're not entirely sure. But I think you can... Takahashi has said that Krelian, he liked that character, and that's why this guy is named Krelian. So we have to assume there's some kind of relation to that going forward.
I had planned on reading this book before we even started doing this podcast because I knew that...
Just get to the end of the first act.
Yeah.
It's the very end of the first act.
Yeah,
it's what Krelian looks like is, I think, one of the greatest moments in science fiction.
So how's it pronounced properly?
Krelian. I mean, I guess. I've never said it. There's Sci-Fi did a movie on it, but I didn't see it because it looked like bullshit.
So one thing that I've noticed in like some of the Xenogears wikis and some in discourse around the internet is that sometimes people have changed characters' names to their properly Romanized names, like Shatan, or they have Krelian's name spelled like it's spelled in the book, like almost like Carolyn.
It's identical as far as I know.
Initializing fakenet.
In Xenogears, it's Krelian. In Childhood's End, it is Krellin.
When the localizers picked up on this, they didn't know that it was an explicit reference, so they just spelled it Krelian like we see in the game. It bothers me that the Xenogears wiki changes it to the way
it's like people
the
calling
way it's supposed to be.
Aerith, Eris.
Yes, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a little bit different. Spelled a little bit differently. But for the purpose of this podcast, we are just going to call him Krelian because that is what it says in the fucking screen that we're playing. So
we have one more short scene before this chapter's over.
Yes, we see the Thames captain in the window and Fuse is playing, and he says, "Did you see that huge fishbowl thing?"
Calls it a fish. Like he's not mad that the ship just got annihilated. He's like, "Yo, you see that shit?"
Also, I have made some observations that I think we missed previously. Hans is definitely a dolphin, and the captain has tusks.
Yeah, the captain.
So anyway, Reapers are attacking.
It's funny. The Reapers are attacking, and the captain orders to fire the big gun, or at least load it.
Hans is like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, true men of the sea.
He's thinking that. Captain, the captain says, "Take the helm. We'll show that fishbowl thing how real men of the sea retreat," which is kind of a funny line.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Captain's like really faithful to his friends, but is also he brought jokes.
Yes, exactly. And then there's just gross things falling from the sky.
The big wells are on the ship, and they're doing their arm bash move.
Yeah, and there's a cool gear diving sequence where a bunch of gears are jumping off the
deck, right?
The deck, the poop deck.
Yeah,
a bunch of gears are jumping off the poop deck to the ocean, I guess, to do battle with these things. That point it pans back to the Yggdrasil and you can save your game. I will note here that if you do go to try to go to the doctor's office real quick, you can't go in there because the prisoner from Shavat is being attended to here.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
I'm glad there's some carry through with that wasn't just a one-off weird thing.
Yeah, I think that that's going to pay off at some point. I hope. We'll see you next time. Next time we have to take Sidon with us, so sorry.
Yeah.
But here we are. Follow us on Twitter, Retrograde Amnesia Pod. Send us an email, retrograde.amnesiapodcast@gmail.com. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. Mark
Shepard.
Thank you for the intro music. It sounds great. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now you may go back to sleep.
I want to get a poster board cue card that I put above my head that has the outro written on it. To just permanently attach it.
I've thought about it. Like if I was sitting on if we changed positions, then this wall would be perfect to put that on there. Usually I can remember it, but since I'm struggling a little bit tonight, I can't. Okay, it's got hella five.
Mm-hmm. Shit the poop deck. You just said that.
Shit.
Did you just say slug?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
It's a term.
Do you mean URL, Chris?
No, a slug is like a part of a URL. Like our show slug on Libsyn is retroam.libsyn.com.
You just made that shit up.
No, there's a thing. It says what do you want your show?
How can I be on the internet for 25 years and not know that? Explain that to me.
I just learned it recently.
Fuck.
I don't know. It's probably not right. You want to do the Patreon again?
No.
Hey Eric, patreon.com.
No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it. I'm putting this in the outtakes. That's how it's going to work.
Okay. I get a drink of water, man.
I hate this shit. I hate White Claw.
Well, you've almost purged yourself of it. To purge.
To purge.
I don't know why I said C.
Because you've had a long day.